without suffering severe consequences. He was unambiguous about that, Nicole.
I mean, Tim, Trump has attacked DOJ, IRS, FBI, Judge Chutkan, Fani Willis, the jurors. I mean, it never stops. This is an aggressive response to something he does as easily and readily as the rest of us sort of wake up and reach for coffee.
A long overdue response. You know, I think looking at this is, it's just another example of how utterly thuggish, obscene, and dangerous this buffoon can be when he's left to his own devices. And he's been doing it for years. Judge Curiel in the Trump University case, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss in the Georgia voter fraud case. He shifts between people who can defend themselves and have the resources to, journalists like you and me, to average people who are innocent bystanders, because at the end of the day, he's a bully. And he doesn't really care about the consequences of his own actions. And I think, you know, we're used to Donald Trump being obscene and being a thug and being dangerous, but we shouldn't accommodate his thuggishness or his obscenities, because doing that is dangerous. And I think one of the things you're seeing now is repeated challenges of institutions and the rule of law and the court system is people saying, well, you know, he's a former president. It would be wrong to put him in jail if he violates his gag order. This has come up in the January 6th case with Judge Chutkan. She has repeatedly told him that he's trying to, you know, his public statements intimidate witnesses. They could taint the jury pool. They will pervert the legal process. And I think at the end of the day, you can only warn a defendant so many times, and then you have to take action. And you either gag him, as he was done today, or you ultimately may have to put him in jail. And I think the real test with Donald Trump is that he has to observe the same standards as everyone else, not in spite of being an ex-president, but because he's an ex-president.
What does it say to you that he hurriedly took it down?
Well, part of it is just his sort of belief, like the way that, like, children, when they're corrected by their parents, they close their eyes and they pretend like it didn't happen. I didn't see it. It didn't happen. So there's part of just the inner 7-year-old of Donald Trump. The other part is he recognized right away that he was caught out being a bully. And then I think a third element is that it already had done his work. Once he puts it up, his tens of millions of followers on social are going to disseminate it. So he can he can sort of make up the excuse publicly, well, I had second thoughts and I took it down. You know, I think, you know, what's so extraordinary about this one, again, is she's a court clerk. She is relatively powerless. And we're in an era where people will come to people's homes. People will take action against anyone Donald Trump identifies as a threat to him. And he knows it. So the fact that he went ahead and did it, I think, says something very deep about who he is. And I think institutions have to rise to this moment and check him every second of the way with as much discipline and severity as possible, because we're heading down a very bad path right now in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, if I could get back every time I said the rule of law is under attack. David Jolly, he names names. He doesn't ever attack the rule of law. His posts don't